People of 8-Bit, it is June, and we are celebrating men's mental health and Pride Month. With the overwhelming majority of our community falling into either of these two categories, it is the perfect time to remind everyone that we are simply that, a community.
It's easy to get caught up in it's just a game, but with 300 people plus, more than that even, in the Discord, that's 300 different lives being lived and different struggles. Sometimes something as silly as a game can be the thing that pushes you over.
We have multiple community members that are part of the LGBTQIA+ community, and we have continued to show that we have zero tolerance for hate speech. As a server, 8-Bit strives to ensure inclusivity is felt at all levels.
Yeah, so it's common in gaming for there to either be trash talk or for there to be hate speech. Everybody's seen the memes. Everybody references the old Call of Duty days, things like that. And we live in a day and age where it don't change. Because I mean, your person right next to you that you're playing with, especially sitting in our VCs and stuff, you never know who's going to be in there. You don't know what everybody is. And it's not worth putting somebody in that spot to where they then start to identify with both things we're celebrating this month. And then, from that, men love to shit talk each other. That's what we do.
We take it too far sometimes.
And there are certainly lines. Everybody's got a different threshold for what they can take. And you never know what somebody's going through in their day-to-day. Yeah.
I'd say that's the biggest thing. We're all sitting here calling. May have some laughs and stuff, but you do never truly know what's going on in somebody's personal life. Just try to be nice. Try to be better.
Respect other people's lives,
Yeah.
And if anybody needs to talk, my DMs are open. I don't talk to a lot of people one-on-one, but if you need me, I'm around. And I'll talk to everybody.
Yeah, it's the same way I tell people if they have league issues. Like, I work nights, so I'm awake at night. Shade works days, he's awake at the day. Couch has weird hours. Always just Koala's our HR department. There's 300-something people you can DM. If you're ever feeling too much, if things are too much, reach out to somebody. Just have a conversation. You can get over it doesn't have to be verbal. It doesn't have to be face cams, stuff like that. Just DMs. Just chit chat.
It can be.
It can be.
Turn my face cam on.
Absolutely. It's never worth going any further than that. We've all dealt with struggles. Me and Shade are both late 30s. Wives, kids. The struggles of life mount up. I've laid in a bed with my rifle until Shade and Koala called me to make dinner plans. Shade, you remember that. It is what it is. So, but conversation. Rely on your people. This is what we're here for.
I spend 60 hours a week in VC chats. If you see me in there, you can always reach
there
out.
For you.
You can always reach out. I try to get a lot of people involved, and I'm here. Just looking at VC chat, you'll probably see me. Again, Bacon said it may be some weird hours, but always available.
You're gonna have to DM me. I don't sit in those VCs like that.
Shade is pretty good about responding quickly to DMs, though. But just don't let things sit. It is a game. It's all silly, but we're all here for a number of hours throughout the week. Why not use it? If you're feeling shitty, if you're a part of the whole LGBTQ community and you're going through stuff, we may not be able to relate, but we can chit chat. Again, I'm in my 30s. I got a lot of life experience. I'm willing to at least listen. And we have other community members that also identify as part of that community. Reach out to them. It can be conversation. And then yeah, men, just talk. That's all it is.
It's very easy to bottle things up.
A lot of men suffer alone because they feel like that's manly.
Mm-hmm. Just keep
Listen,
it in.
I
Don't
bottled
say
it
anything.
for so long, and yeah, you can get to a dark place. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's life is worth living, and we love you. We want you here. I love talking to everybody in here. I've even butted heads with a few people. I DM with them, and we're cool. We're buds. You know, like I love everybody in our community. I want you guys to be here. Communicate with us.
Absolutely. Well, boys, let's get to the podcast. Yeah.
Y'all
Go.
have fun.
That's just being honest.
I mean, matchup wise, yeah, they're gonna. Koa's calling a timeout.
Dude, okay, my dog is fucking losing his mind. And I'm
That's
so
fine.
well, it's not fine because the audio is 100% picking it up.
Woof woof.
It's so
I don't really hear it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, if he was-
the Discord isn't picking it up because of the I'm looking at my mic every time it just
All right.
Yeah, understandable. Yep.
shit. So I don't know how to fix this problem. Shut up!
This is
She
100%.
just, they
That's why
just went to the vet.
This might be the new intro.
So,
Like,
so
I don't
my
know.
My mom took our other dog to the vet, and he's losing his. Shut up! Stop whining. You're fine. You big
I
turd.
need to fucking go to. Where is voice and video?
Oh, dude, that's gonna be so annoying.
Where is streamer mode? There it is.
I did hear that one.
I heard it.
I heard that one. Will he not just chill in the room with you?
No, if he was out here, he'd probably be whining louder. Maui, stop it. You're fine. They'll be back.
Give him a bone or something.
I don't think it'll work because he's like losing his mind because the other dogs go. Hold on, Maui.
Podcast, powered by the 8-Bit Nation, bringing you everything you need to know in the competitive world of 8-Bit Nation, League, Pixel, and Prism. I'm the Dwarf Bard, here to introduce to you your hosts, Bacon, Shade, Koala, Koa, and Jay.
Sorry, dead people suck. That's from Shade. He's not here. I'm not Shade. We are back. We had week 9 happen. We've been kind of on a streak here. I've got Koala, and somebody down there wearing a T-shirt with Couch's face on it. I don't know who it
could
is.
that possibly be?
I think I'm just gonna stay like it, you know?
Shut up. You're not supposed to talk.
Couch might be the most recognizable person in the Discord now because he does face
Yeah, he
cams
does
during
face
games.
During games, so he probably
Hey,
is.
I'll be honest, I just love the little screenshots and stuff people get from it. When a play's happening and I just have nothing to say, it's
He's got
just
like-
Hey, you're just
there's just nothing to say. I remember there was one, it was on the goal line, the ball was there for like 6 seconds, everyone was touching it. I'm not casting that. I just gotta hold my breath. Like, let it go.
And sometimes you just gotta let the moment happen.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And everybody misses. He's sitting
All
there
the
and he's
time.
like, ooh.
Mm.
I mean, it happens in Pixel, but it happens in Prism too, where it's like, what the fuck is going on?
It's funny when it happens in Prism.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funnier for sure.
But yeah, we've got Couch. Shade's at a funeral, and I don't know what Jay's doing. Somebody's like impromptu vacation or working. I've gotten 2 different answers. One of them's probably a lie, but he's gone. But boys, we're gonna jump into it. Before we do, get your merch thing. Koala's got some on. Couch is has some on. He's back. Koa has no merch on.
What is he doing?
Oh, another one. Yep, he's
He's
showing
got
it all off.
Oh, he's
Yep.
got two different. Nice waddle too. That's good.
Yep. Everybody hashtag cake in general right now and at cat. We're going to kick it off. We had one game left over from week 8 that we didn't get to talk about, and that was High Flyers Ospreys. And boys, this did not go in favor of the Ospreys. The High Flyers swept them 3-0. I don't remember this game now, but they,
I do.
Go for it, Couch.
So I'm a little upset with Red Guy for this one. I was in VC with him earlier in the day before the game, and this is the one where Samu couldn't make it. So I believe it was OAY
Right. Yeah.
subbed in for him.
Mm-hmm.
And so on paper, you got OAY at 2K, you got Nels and Cronus. That should be a filthy team. Red Guy also told me Hallow wasn't going to make the game. So imagine my shock when I load up and I see Hallow in the lobby. I had put all my points on Ospreys. All of them.
You gotta wait. I gotta wait it out till I at least see who's gonna be on the field for the game one.
But yeah, High Flyers just they played very well as a team, and Florida just didn't have a shot that series.
It was a very strong showing by him. This was a mid-table matchup for that week, so it's just really seeding positioning there. But week 9 was exciting. We've got all the games from that. Koala, go ahead and kick us
Yeah,
off.
the first game we're gonna talk about, the Mudcats, 3-1 the Fallen. Yeah, where's my?
It's his notes.
Do I even have?
Get him his notes.
Man, the notes are bad this week. I didn't have as much time as I thought I did today when Bacon said we were recording at 5. So, well, is this one? Oh yeah, Fallen. That's on me. So Mudcats won the first one, Fallen won the second one, and then Mudcats just kind of finished them off.
Mm-hmm.
Mers, did Mers things. The last 2 games, when they lost game 2, they subbed out T-Mac for Gardens. And the first game, he did well, but he was on the bottom of the leaderboard. Where did my fucking...
That happens.
There it is. My cursor disappeared. I couldn't find it. And but game 3 or game 4, their third win. I think he was top of the leaderboard on that one. So he seems to be fitting in. I don't know how much they've done since he was traded, as far as scrims and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he might be finding his footing there, which might mean a problem for the rest of the league.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I'll tell you who didn't find their footing. My team, the Pharaohs, got swept by the Demons. It was ugly. It was belt to ass. Yeah.
You like that?
Well, okay, so first of all, Shade's not here, because I was going to talk so much shit to Shade for this, just because all the rah-rah everyone's been talking after the Mudcats lost to Demons. So I was going to talk mad shit. But, Demons, obviously, that trade came through. They're figuring it out. They look scary good.
Yeah.
They're trying to make the push back into the playoffs here, because I think they're still out of it right now.
It's absolute comedy.
still...
They could get eliminated this week because their only 3 victories are against clinched teams. They lose every single tiebreaker.
It's crazy.
To teams that they're racing with.
But their strength of win is ridiculous, dude. It's crazy.
It is, which begs to question how they couldn't have won some of their matchups against lesser teams. Yeah. See, I don't know. I can't go super into it because I think we're going to end up playing the Demons again.
Doesn't
I can't reveal.
Doesn't want to scheme, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. They are good. I think Jared's not doing a whole lot. The thing Jared's bringing to the team is it's giving Cozy a lot of
Because he
comfortability
looks
on the
really
field.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I
it's
agree.
not. Yeah, Jared's
Luigi.
not doing anything scary. Then I'm gonna get there. But it's unlocked Cozy completely.
Mhm.
Luigi, this motherfucker, he's just not making the mistakes. I don't know if it's showing that he should have been on a roster earlier or literally him sitting in free agency the majority of the season. He's just been grinding. He's been in VCs with
I think
random
it's both.
folks.
I think, yeah.
And that's because we got to see Luigi play a bit season 1. This is a different motherfucker. It's like someone else is playing on the account. I think
It's the same
completely
one.
different.
He's just more consistent. He's going for all of the same shit. I played with him a few times. He's going for all the same shit. He's just hitting it more.
And that, hey, it's significant enough to where, yeah, I think that's the Cozy's playing well. I think Luigi's next on that list in terms of somebody to be afraid of. Making the right touches, he's cutting out the midfield, making it very scary. It's time for me to wake up. That's going to happen every time we record. But yeah, belt to ass. Kudos to DK. Good luck making the playoffs, I guess.
Yeah, they play Harriers this week,
Yeah.
so
It's
I mean,
that's such a
they got to be
huge matchup.
favored. But they're
After the
they both
last
have the
week,
same.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Because Harriers did get beat 3-0 by the Foxtrotters. And it game 2 was close, went to OT. Game 3, it fell apart. Foxtrotters played like they're supposed to.
Yeah, the first 2
And just-
games, they had a lot of pressure, but they couldn't score. Like, they only scored 2 goals or something in those first 2 games.
But then
They're-
I think game 3 was 6-1, KC? 5-1 or 6-1? Something like that.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it was just KC
They're
took
both
over.
3-6, along with 3 other teams, and it feels like one's going this way and the other one's going that way.
Yeah.
As far as Demons and Harriers go.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's been a lot of upsets or almost upsets. As wild as it sounds, this could either be an upset or a total blowout Demons way, as far as that game goes. But
Yeah. So we got through the sweeps of week 9, and our next 3 games fully delivered. I'm going to talk about Havoc and Eclipse, Boomer versus Liam with accompanying peoples. This game went the distance with Havoc taking it 3-2. Scary at times for both teams. That's why it kind of fell into a 5-game series. And I think both teams look poised for the playoffs. I think Boomer has done enough with Eclipse to get them in the position where they're going to compete. They do have to fight for it the final 2 weeks. I think they play Monarchs this week. I think that's a win for them, but that's not going to clinch them. It's going to come down to week 11, and this victory here for them would have went a long way, but Havoc able to pull it out enough there. Wiko really clutching up, making smart touches in Game 5, doing everything he needed to here.
this is the Pixel League, but the Eclipse are a team full of solid players.
Yeah.
No one's gonna do anything crazy. So if they play solid, they'll be competitive.
Right.
But if they get to the playoffs, they're not getting past the first round. Most likely.
I think the moves Boomer's made has changed this team, and you did lose 3-2, but I think you look at that in more of a positive way. The earlier Eclipse teams, I don't think they take 2 games off of them. I think Boomer's made some good moves. That team looks pretty good, and it was a good fighting chance.
They won the first game, which was, Boomer's saying he's the sub, so that's sub versus sub, Liam versus Boomer. They won that one by a goal, I think. and Wiko just showed out the entire series. He's the top scorer, I believe, in every single game, regardless of winning or losing. No, he wasn't. He wasn't in their game 3 loss, but he was on their team every time. I mean, he is the cog. If you can shut him down, that's what you have to try to do, and make the other 2 players beat you. Regardless of the other 2, whether it's Bio or Liam, who seem to be the ones that are switching it out. But they're going to be a hard out in the playoffs for sure.
Absolutely, and they know their weakness here. And this series showed it best for both teams. Both teams suffer from the same weakness. They overcommit at poor times. The game 1 loss by Havoc was a Liam overcommit, and then game 2, one of the critical things, it was I think it was Boomer that overcommitted, and that's you see that from these teams that are used to scoring a lot of goals. Typically, that weakness becomes the defense. When you have a game where you're not slotting it, you're trying to be aggressive, and teams counter you. That's kind of what this series did, a little bit back and forth. So while Wiko and them are very strong, there is an opportunity there for them to fix something. And they have to fix it. Otherwise, now, especially because they play Mudcats week 10, they play Pharaohs week 11. They've had the easiest schedule up until now. Nobody else plays those 2 teams the final week. So, we're going to see a lot about Havoc leading into the playoffs. And then, Boomer's team, we're already seeing it. See what they can do if they make it.
Out first round.
And we're back. I don't know what I did with any of that, but some of it, you've seen it somewhere. Koala, let's talk about that game. Let's talk about the next one.
So, Bandits, Couch.
Yeah.
We 3-2'd the Illusion.
Mm-hmm.
The Smurfy-less Illusion. Smurfy didn't play this series. Bula played the whole thing. It wasn't ideal. 3-2, definitely not ideal. We lose game 1. Last second goal by who was it? Who actually shot it? I don't remember.
Bula is what I want to say. I want to say Bula too.
Yeah, semi open net. Mew was trying to get back,
Yeah,
almost got to
bumped. He got bumped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Bula scored the winner. That's what it was.
Okay. So, yeah, overtime. Fucking Bula. So that wasn't good. Didn't like that. One game 2. 4-2? Is that what it was?
Pretty handily.
5-4.
It was pretty handle.
5-4.
It was high scoring, but you guys were like in charge of that game.
Yeah. We went up, I want to say 3-0. And then they started forming some comeback, but I don't think we gave up the lead.
Yeah.
I think we kept a 1-goal.
I think at one point we had a 3-goal lead. And then they got 2 kind of late.
Yeah, it was 3-1 because we were up 2-1. We got that third, and you were like, there we go. Nice little cushion. 2-goal cushion to work
And then
with.
the cushion disappeared.
I was like, I love a cushion. I love a cushion.
Now, me being who I am, do y'all think I knew what he meant immediately?
And then we won.
Yeah, I am.
And then we won game 3, 1-0. So I was like, all right, cool. Gentleman's sweep about to happen. Like, let's fucking go. Game 4 starts. This sumbitch loses power.
A minute.
Like, before the first goal actually went
Right
in.
before the first goal.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had scored.
Yeah, he was so confused there for a minute when he came back to scored.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, fresh game restart. If I can't make it in 10-minute timer, Koala can hop in because we just restart the whole game. And then they're like, oh no, they scored. I'm like,
Yeah.
Cool. Because
Yeah,
didn't
I'm
see
like,
it
we're gonna have to forfeit this one. So we forfeited it, and then I came in game 5, and we pull out the W.
In OT.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So I score the first one pretty
You guys went up
early.
2-0.
banger.
Bulla kind of let me play it off the corner, so I took my time and lined it up. It wasn't. I hit it kind of with the side of my car, top side of my car, but it still got decent power on it. Put over him, and then the second one, was that Nessie that put it in?
That was the
Or
demo.
Mew?
Yeah. It was Nessie put it in. You had gone through and demoed, I believe, Defane, and then Craney
No,
demoed you.
I demoed Bula.
Yeah, okay. And then Craney demoed you, but it affected him enough, like bounced
Yeah.
him back, and Nessie had a free goal.
Yeah, and then led up 2 pretty late, which a little disappointing, but like, all right, let's go, fuck it.
Yeah.
And then scored in 22 seconds in overtime.
Mm-hmm. Pretty quick. Me little solo play, kind of.
Well, yeah, it was like it was almost kind of a kickoff goal just because like we'd won the kickoff, kept it on their side. We kept ping ponging it around. Mew made a tight turn, popped it over 2, and then basically had a free net to slot it in from like right outside the net. So good little solo play by him. A lot of pressure by us.
That was the first game I got to watch somebody cast my bandits in a while. It was pretty interesting.
Was it?
Good job, Koa.
Thank you.
Good casting. Good casting.
No one.
Yeah, it was.
Want to join me on the desk. He was kind of sad.
It's weird to hear the casting because we didn't have the stream going in Discord. I was on my phone, and then I think somebody called me, so it disconnected me from Discord. And that point, we were up 2-0. And then now I have to switch to the stream, and I don't hear the comms or anything, and I see the goals going, and I'm like, oh, I'm stressing. I'm stressing.
I'll be honest. I think Mew and Nessie was stressing a little bit too, but
Okay.
it's all right. I just felt like there was no way we were gonna lose that game or series, and
I'll say this right now: I will never lose to your team, Smurfy. That's that.
Ever?
But
count it.
Never.
Like,
Never gonna
worth
lose.
a bet? Never?
Well, the problem with that is it just goes on and on because
you have till the end of season 5 to beat me for $50.
3 seasons for $50.
For $50, Smurfy.
Couch, that's bold.
50 apiece.
Especially since he's got 3 first-round picks next season.
I have 2.
Oh, that's true.
I ain't losing to Smurfy.
Couch said I have 2. So
I got 2. And I got me.
Hey.
But,
man,
you know, they did get that. We did get the 3-2 win. But so did the last game for Pixel. Another Game 5 series. Falcons taking it 3-2 over the Monarchs. I was not around for this one, I'll be honest. I was at work. But to see the 3-2, I'm Monarchs able to figure little things out. Obviously, they needed to get a win to avoid elimination, I believe. Or did they get eliminated last week? Week 8. It was this week they got eliminated.
it was this week. Yeah, they
Yeah.
needed that win.
This week.
Yeah, so they tried to get some pieces figured out. So close, but yeah, Falcons able to take it and eliminate Monarchs, the first team eliminated for both leagues.
Yeah, this was a great showing by Monarchs. Just kind of too little, too late. And you know, kudos to Falcons for closing out what was a tough series. I don't know. Everything was on the line for Monarchs, and Boston is just jockeying for position to potentially clinch. So, good showing by Monarchs. I love seeing that for them. Boston kind of took over the team with not a whole lot of draft options, so the season has went accordingly. But they have had moments where they've looked very competitive, and that's with dropping Pinky, who I thought was one of the better players on the team. It just wasn't working out chemistry-wise. So they,
A lot of Pinky fans in the Discord.
yeah. But Bustin's made it work with what he's got. This season kind of is what it is. Glad he stepped up to manage, and I know he's looking forward to next season.
Yeah,
Better draft capital, ready to actually build the team he wants. So
I would say he literally got dealt one of the worst hands you could get dealt stepping in as a manager.
yeah.
Good, big props.
Well, he also made it worse on himself too, because he had a second round pick and then he traded back later in the second round. So he did make it harder on himself. But you build for the future. So I think Bustin's here for the long term, ready to get going. So good season.
That'll take us into the Prism games for Week 9. First, we have the Ospreys, who swept the Phantoms. Yeah, Phantoms didn't have a sign. They didn't have Vice. They had somebody.
I don't know, because before we started recording, I looked at that and I was like, Bacon, I think you put it in wrong. There's no way the Ospreys 3-0 the Phantoms, right? And sure enough, it happened. And then I think Koa mentioned the Vice drop. And I was like, oh yeah, they did have to pick up somebody for that game.
And they just looked out of sync. I mean, bad. It's an ugly game.
Yeah. Yeah, and that took us into our next one, which kind of went the same route, smidge better. Nightmare versus Hydras. Nightmare taking it 3-1. Newly built Nightmare surging up the standings. And what has happened in Prism over the past few weeks?
Crazy.
Phantoms and Hydras were running away with it. And not the case anymore. They've dropped some games. I think Hydras are 4th in standings. We'll talk about that a little more later. But this was yet again another good showing by Kilo, Doggo, and Getz. Kilo had one game where not so much. I know chat was exploding about it.
Yeah. He
Like
put up
30-something
Thad
points?
Thad Castle's jersey.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he had 54 points. It was after game 1-2
Yeah,
that they won.
Because I was
He had
my player to
54.
watch had 54.
Dude, I don't know if we can do this, but if we can give someone like
someone else.
what's the like, I don't know, some kind of award for like lowest point total in a singular game. It would be
Your team
incredible.
still wins. Like Kilo was just there for that game.
That is a good stipulation, because at least it takes the sting out a little bit of if you lose or if you win. At least it was in a win.
Your team won by you not doing anything. Congratulations.
Hey, Doggo said about me in one of the games we played, I think the week before, like, Koala just chilling. He's just vibing right now. That's like 100 points.
We're just chilling. Very much Doggo. Doggo looks insanely comfortable in this lineup. More so than we've probably ever seen Doggo. Doing pretty much whatever he wants on the pitch. Getz and Kilo fitting in really well around him. Pretty much whatever. Couch.
I will say.
I would say that, but Kilo did steal his clip, so he can't clip. Yeah, Doggo can't clip. Kilo's gonna steal it. But pretty much everything else, yeah.
But you don't need the clips. Kilo's throttling Doggo's surge to try to repeat as MVP.
Kilo, stop stealing clips.
No, but Kilo's got to get him where you can. You guys call him out for 54 points. He's got to take what he can get.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but it takes away from this, Bacon. It takes away from this.
Clip it!
But I will say Hanoi, first game with Nerd Justin. His first Prism series, or I think this is. So I do think he actually did play last season as a call-up, but this is his first league action since the playoffs last year. So it's been months since he's played in a league setting.
That's wild.
Yeah, so I thought he played pretty good. Nothing
after game one,
but I mean,
game one looked a little rough, but
and I think that's that warm up. Like I said, it's league game. It's completely different. So having to get used to that again. But then, I think the rest of the games he did pretty well.
Mhm.
Who didn't do well is the Rednecks. They get 3-0'd by the High Flyers. And I'm going to be honest here. I apologize. There's not much to talk about for this one. Their Rednecks got eliminated this week. First Prism team to get eliminated. It hasn't looked great for them. And it just continues.
What do you mean by that?
They
Well,
suck.
it just continues.
Yeah.
Ben is shuffling the roster a little bit,
Yeah.
bringing in some players to get some touches. Koa being one of them. Yeah. Sorry, Koa.
Yeah, and then I got on the team, and then we get eliminated from the playoffs.
Oh no, I still have nothing to play for.
No, I just get to get my butt kicked by Hanoi and OKC in the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah. What was not
I'm
a
just
butt
mad
kicking.
he's taking a potential caster away from one game each week.
He went from one caster earlier in the season to another caster now. You know, he's just testing them all out.
Vinci wasn't
Ben
a
made
caster.
like the worst business decision
Oh, true.
for the
Pisses
league.
me off. Yeah.
Let's make Koa happy. Let's talk about the Sentinels. They played the Hornets, and in reverse sweep fashion.
Oh, sense.
Sick 'em!
I hate it. I hate myself.
Now,
I need a shower. Sentinels reverse swept, taking this 3-2 over Hornets.
looked horrendously
Massive.
bad in the first 2 games.
Yes, they did. And
I'm gonna need the Sentinels to look. They're now number 1 in the standings. I think there's still a good bit of improvement this team can do in terms of the Kim and rotations to really push up and like be that number 1.
Yeah.
Listen, you fuck around enough, Streak is going to get you.
Mm-hmm.
He almost got him.
Almost. Yeah.
He did.
But I mean, a
Almost
reverse
got it.
sweep over the Hornets is you take that any day of the week. It's a good team to do it against.
Dude, Mincy looked really good in this reverse sweep too. Mincy looked phenomenal. Was definitely like their star player this week, for sure. Really brought him back. I know he was definitely the most level-headed in that VC from what I've heard, too. So definitely a good bring in from JT.
Mm-hmm.
Is he death slam during series?
I couldn't tell you.
He
that,
used to.
but he did used to. I'm assuming he hasn't gotten better. But who knows? Who knows? But that'll take us to our next game. Wave winning 3-1 over the Otakus.
This was another one day from Appa, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
This was they didn't have Schmeegs.
Mm-hmm.
They used Purge, right? Sam F in the Discord, but it's NBW Purge in game.
That's kind of right.
Yeah, Purge is that guy. I like Purge. And Otakus, they couldn't really get their footing. They did take the game. I'm not quite sure how. It felt weird. It felt like Wave were just kind of messing around. And yeah, but it hurt my heart because most of us picked Otakus in predictions last week.
Mm-hmm.
But the Wave did the thing. Appa doing the thing. That's there fighting for a playoff spot. And Otakus are still alive. So, chaos.
Yeah, but Brown Rock's not. Sorry, man.
They're not. Couch, last game. Takes home.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know who is alive? Scallops. Now, they won 3-2 over the Hurricanes, but I remember I had a very busy day yesterday. On my way from one thing to work, I looked at Discord, and it was just
Chaos.
obviously 2 changes. So Unfo had subbed out for Evelyn,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I'm at work and I check my phone again and I'm like, okay, Latumos is now gone and Banks is there. But then wait, Unfo's now out for Linux. What's going on? But either way, they got the win and they have a chance for playoffs.
Yeah. So this was stupid. I have more DMs about this series than my own. Collectively too, not just from these two people, from everybody. Yes, this was a very bad week for the Scallops, scheduling wise. We try to prioritize not taking forfeits. That's why you have the ability to sign people. That's why you have the ability to one day, whatever. Unfo cashing on both of those, sign somebody and one day. Apparently, Evelyn must not have had availability. I don't know if she thought she did and Unfo made that transaction, or if Unfo just did it without talking to her. I tend to think the former because Unfo's normally a pretty good manager. And then it just ended up being what it was, and they took the victory. A lot of people really mad about it. Signing a free agent and one-daying are two different things, people.
It happened earlier in the season too, by the way.
It has.
So
And I will also add, to be fair, he grabbed a person who hasn't played at all this season in Banks, and he picked Linux. And Linux is not, I would say, a highly touted free agent by any means.
Right. Yeah, he picked two people that have not played this season, and put them in there, and they proceeded to get the win. Absolutely wild. I understand the pissiness from the Hurricanes, but did it within the rules and did it per what all these people are saying. Oh, you shouldn't pick Evelyn. Well, he did it without Evelyn. Get wrecked. Hurricanes really shouldn't be mad. You should be mad at yourself. You got beat by two free agents. Sorry about it. That is tough, but
I know the feeling. Don't worry.
The aggression in the DMs I've gotten, that's how it's going to be. Like, they did it within the rules. It might be a loophole, but they did it within how the rules stand.
And
Better
it might be a
believe-
loophole that gets closed in the future.
Yep,
but-
better believe. Owners immediately
the
talked
rules
about it.
this season.
But point blank, it is two different transactions.
Mhm.
That's what it is as of right now. The way it was done, because the loophole thing that people are mad about is that Unfo was then able to use his week 10 transaction to sign back Latimos. Not going to go into that. I understand the pissiness of people, but again, once the games are done, that's when transactions typically get processed for the next week. We don't make people wait until midnight Sunday, because guess what? Koala and DK both work Monday. They're not processing shit at midnight, so then you're waiting until 8 a.m. Then what? So shit gets processed, went through. That's Unfo's week 10 transaction. Deal with it. But yeah, this had huge playoff implications, so I understand why people are pissed. But the free agent and the one day, that's happened earlier in the season. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody.
Mhm.
They are two different transactions. Done.
I did kind of forget about it until when I said I know the feeling, because Fallen did do that, and Pixel too, for one game. So yeah, it's happened before.
Yeah.
But that'll lead us into my favorite segment. It's maybe Koala's favorite segment.
Your Pixel and Prism 8-bit players of the week. So
When I'm going to cut to future Koa, let's get into this. For Pixel, your offensive player is Cozy, once again, for his 5 goals and 1 assist in the Demon sweep over the Luxor Pharaohs. Your defensive player of the week is Mers for his 12 saves in the Mudcats 3-1 win. Prism-wise, we have our offensive player who's Doggo for his 7 goals and 4 assists in the Nightmare 3-1 win over the Hydras. And last but not least, we have our defensive player, the Lee Samu, for his 6 saves in the Ospreys 3-0 sweep over the Phantoms. Those were your players of the week. And back to the desk. And we're back. Thank you, future me. You did great. And good looking as always.
Good job.
Thank you.
And Next, we have the interview. Big interview.
It's not.
It's that
Oh
kid.
my!
He's
goodness.
literally sitting
Yeah.
in here.
Hi.
It was. Oh.
Is this voice getting deeper?
It's happening, Koala.
His balls.
Oh my
Keep
god!
dropping.
You have
I haven't talked in a
That's weird.
I haven't talked to him in a BC in a minute, so
No, but you're marked as the interview. I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. You want to give it live
Ooh, live interview.
with the people?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Liam, you finish with Mudcats, Pharaohs. What's your team doing in those 2 games? Give me a series score against Mudcats.
Make sure he's in.
Cut closer,
Yeah,
closer.
make sure he's in.
yeah,
Much
talking to
closer.
Mudcats. 3-1. Havoc.
You're gonna beat them 3-1. Okay, give me a series score when you play my team. You're grounded. Get the fuck out of here.
What do
He
you
said
What did
3-0.
he say?
didn't he? He said 3-0.
He said 3-1. Both. You
3-1
think
both.
you think that Wiko can carry 3-1 against both of those teams? Closer. Closer. Are you doing it?
Closer. Closer.
Yeah.
Closer. Get friendly. It's like I created you.
What?
Say what you just said. You don't need Wiko to
We
carry?
don't need one.
Who's carrying? No, but you guys are just built like that?
It's not
Yeah,
getting
it's not
enough.
picking up.
It's not picking up.
Even Shade said that.
I don't know about all that. I'll take a second, put the headset on him, Koa, Koala Couch, ask him a couple questions.
I gotta ask him questions.
Yeah. And you're first too.
Yeah, you're
He's
first.
a Koa first.
Hi.
Hi.
That's with a question mark, by the way. So that's Koa's. Koala's second.
How's it feel being the youngest manager in the league?
That's a good question.
Pretty good, you know.
Do you feel any pressure that like you need to perform?
No. Just because I'm the sub, so like, I don't really care.
I mean,
You don't really care.
No, I care, but like, I only have to get 11 games, so like, when I get my games done, I don't have to play.
Do you have your games done?
Yeah.
Don't you want to play?
Not versus the Mudcats or Pharaohs.
Why? Why not versus the Mudcats and the Pharaohs, Liam?
But I don't know, they're just too good, I guess.
What do you think you need to work on to get out of being in the sub role?
Maybe just consistency, probably.
I mean,
Consistency
gotta
with
stop
what?
playing
Rotations? With
Probably,
with mechanics or
Probably like rotations and also like making good touches, not like whiffing and like or like hitting the ball backwards or something.
couch?
I think that's fair. I mean, you had what? You were the 4th and 5th pick in the draft, or you had those?
I think it was 4th and 5th.
How do you feel sitting at 7-2 right now, headed into the last 2 weeks, knowing that you had those 2?
Pretty good because, to be fair, Pharaohs did have 2 picks ahead of that, but like,
But they're also 7-2. The two
Yeah, I
teams
guess they were
that had
7-2.
2 through 5 picks are both 7-2.
yeah. So, I guess I don't know. My team just had some dumb losses, I guess.
That's fair.
Do you regret not? No, go ahead.
I think the Havoc was the start of the KC streak.
Yeah.
So that one, like, kind of fair. KC was a little slept on, I would say, but then now we see what they've turned into since that one. What was the other one?
Boston.
Yeah,
So-
That team's so solid on defense. That one, that does
You
make
guys
sense.
should have won that one.
Yeah, Cheeto had 15 saves in that game.
Yeah, I was about to say Cheeto and Cloudsy are the top, or two of the top threes in saves. So I mean that's just a tough wall to break down as
Yeah.
a team.
Do you regret not moving up in the draft to pick me?
Well, I mean, I would if I could. Well, I would have in like the moment, but then I ended up being fine with who I got. So
So if you had picks 4, 5, and 6, that 6th pick you're taking Koala.
6th pick. That's ridiculous.
I would have done it.
You would have, too. That's the bad.
I meant move up in the 3rd round.
well, the thing is, I would have. Well, like originally, I didn't have a 3rd round, but then I had to move to the last pick in the draft in order to get 4 and 5. So
Smart move.
I mean, yeah, not gonna blame you for that.
This is the most important question, though. If you beat your dad next week, how are you gonna let him know?
Yeah, which Fortnite dance are you gonna choose in your celebration?
probably like to take the L, you know.
That's
little-
okay. That was the first one I thought of.
Little.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Hey! Hey! Now do Orange Justice. Now go. Go back. No, go back.
Is Orange Justice
Yeah.
I mean, hey, last season, Liam did prove himself as the Rocket League man of the household by making playoffs, and Bacon didn't. So
Yeah.
you got to keep that going.
Mhm.
You got to keep that title of Rocket League man of the household.
You
Yeah.
can buy a plaque.
Oh no, if y'all should do that. Week 11, if you end up beating him, he has to buy a plaque that says you are the 2-time Rocket League man of the household.
And then
All right.
turn around and tell him, "Hey, put it with the rest of my trophies."
Okay.
All right, put your dad back on.
Yeah, thank you, Liam.
Thank you, Liam.
And we're back because we never actually left. We just decided to do it right here. So that was the interview. It was a good interview. Bacon really has no idea how it went. So yeah, that'll be fun for you to listen to that.
Yeah, I got like one-word answers on the side, and then Couch is up emoting out of his chair. Don't know how we got there. I'm excited
We'll see.
to actually get to listen to
You'll
it. So hope you guys enjoyed that. But that's going to take us into standings here. Normally that's Jay, but again he's off playing whatever in Texas. Koa? Is he at Chicken and Pickle in Texas?
He might be. He could be.
Wait, is he at Bucks Wild in Texas?
He's at a one-stop. He went to Chicken and
The
Pickle.
adult ballet.
No. He's currently at Chicken and Pickle, and then he'll
Next
be at Bucks
stop.
Wild.
It's going to be wild for him on a Monday night. But let's get into the standings here. First, we're going to kick it off with Prism. Taking the number 1 spot is going to be Sentinels at 7-2. Jay says that his team shouldn't be number 1. I told him standings aren't opinions, stupid.
That's not how math works.
Yep, not how the math works. When no other teams have 7 wins, Jay. There it is. But that brings us to a 4-way tie below them. We have the Nightmare moving up to 2 at 6-3, followed by Phantoms, High Flyers, and Hydra, all 6-3. Absolute chaos for seeding in Prism. I do believe all of those teams have clinched a playoff spot. So kind of is what it is there. At 6, we got the Hornets at 5-4. 7th, Wave are 4-5, followed by Ospreys and Scallops, who are also 4-5. That's your playoff line. So that's 7, 8, 9. 8 teams make it. Then we've got Rednecks at 10. They're 2-7. So are the Otakus and Hurricanes. It is interesting that the Rednecks are eliminated. That is again because of tiebreaker. They do not have a path in. Doggo. Again, this is the time of the season where my DMs with Doggo are much more than anything else because he's always checking himself. No matter what tiebreaker scenario comes out, Rednecks do not have a shot. They lose every combo it can be. Whereas Otakus and Hurricanes, that's not the case. But yeah, chaos for Seeding and Prism. Pixel, kind of the same, but it's more chaos for who's going to make it. But at top, we got the Mudcats at 8-1, followed by Pharaohs and Havoc, both 7-2. Foxtrotters sniffing right behind at 6-3. Plenty of opportunity there to crack into that top 3. Bandits and Falcons are tied at 5-4. Behind that, we've got 5 teams tied at 3-6. In order: Illusion, Harriers, Eclipse, Fallen, Demons. That is 7-11. We have one team eliminated.
Demons are 11th.
11th. And they are tied for 7th.
And they beat 3 of the top 4 teams.
And they have lost to 6 of the bottom 6 teams.
It's just crazy.
It's hilarious.
It's wild.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Monarchs eliminated. They're 1-8. We already touched on them. But yeah, boys, Pixel, 7-11. And a couple of these teams play each other. Who's coming out of that? We kind of talked about that a little last episode, but it's I have no idea. With how the standings set, Illusion and Harriers have the edge, being that current tie, they're on top. But I mean, that can change so quickly. Week 11, we have Illusion versus Eclipse. That's right now 7 versus 9. The chances are, no matter what happens in Week 10, that game could very well be for a playoff spot.
Is there potential for 2 games in Week 11 to be the deciders for who makes the playoffs? Because I know Inchin and Erie has been talked about a lot as like that could be one that decides it. Demons, New Mexico, maybe? Well, no.
Well, no, it could be.
It could be, yeah.
For the Demons to be in the conversation, that means they have to beat Harriers in Week 10. If Fallen happened to beat... Because you said Demons Fallen, right? Yeah, if Fallen happened to beat Luxor, Demons Fallen could very well be for the playoff spot as well. Loser of that game is probably going to catch a tiebreaker loss to someone.
That just seems like the Demons are going to win that easily, though, at this point. The way it's going.
You say that, but, like, it's just like...
I know.
Oh, man.
I know. I'm not saying that there's not potential for upset. But, like, can you confidently say who's going to win the Eclipse Illusion game?
I can't.
Mm-mm.
Can you say more confidently that the Demons should beat the Fallen?
Yes.
No, I cannot.
I absolutely can.
No, I cannot.
Old-faced liar.
I'm here for the drama.
and we're gonna have plenty of it because that's Harriers. I don't think they can get eliminated by losing to Demons this week. Demons can get eliminated, will get eliminated if they lose a game, series, whatever. So if they catch a loss, they're done. That is all this.
God, imagine all this just to get beat by the Harriers.
Beat by the Harriers and get kicked out of the playoffs.
I'm gonna beat
be
DK's
wild.
ass if that's what happens. If he,
It would be hilarious, but wild.
It would be
So
terrible though, because like that would be like they're such like the dark horse into the playoffs, and I really want to see him get that 8 spot and just.
I don't think they're a dark horse. They just might not get into the playoffs. This team here now is clearly good.
Says
the
dark
pressure. Their record says dark horse, but their actual makeup and watching the game says front runner. So, but the only thing that they have all the pressure's on them. So if they manage it, then it was like, well, they were built for this. They've been in the playoffs since week 10 or whatever,
True.
9. And then if they don't, well, it was just too much pressure. They couldn't hold, you know what I mean? Like, they were going to fail eventually.
They cannot lose a game
They can't.
for the
The
rest
series.
of the season. Well, for the rest of the season, a series for the rest of the season. Because you get through this and you get in the playoffs and you can't lose. So it's
Yeah, they've been in the
great.
playoff hunt for 3 weeks already, basically 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, it was a couple weeks ago. It was before their Mudcats series. Doggo was already mapping their elimination scenario.
I said that they were out
Yeah, you
on
did.
the podcast.
And then
I
they
was
beat
like,
Mudcats.
definitely gone.
Yeah,
No
they
way they're
beat
beating
Mudcats.
Mudcats. Then
They
Pharaohs.
have no chance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
totally.
crazy. But we'll touch on it. You guys are going to see it on the Twitch streams, so we'll go ahead and talk about it. Like we just said with Demons, a loss, they're done. New Mexico can actually get eliminated week 10 as well, with a loss and both a Demons loss and either Inchin or Eclipse winning.
So
Okay.
even if they lose, they're probably not getting eliminated.
Right, because we think Demons are probably going to beat Harriers. Yeah, Fallen won't be eliminated with. Harriers can.
That's the key cog.
Yeah, and here's
That and them losing.
a lot of people are talking about Demons being able to clinch a playoff spot or Eclipse being able to clinch a playoff spot. Not necessarily. Atlanta can clinch Week 10 with a win, and they need a New Mexico loss. New Mexico plays Luxor, and either Inchin or Eclipse to lose, which that could happen.
Yeah.
So I don't think Eclipse are going to lose. Inchin, who they play? They're uphill a little bit.
Boston.
They play Boston.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough
Another
game.
big one. Yeah.
So yeah, if Atlanta wins, which we've talked about that's the mountain for their clinch scenario. They win, Luxor wins, and Boston wins. Atlanta snatches up one of those playoff spots. So we're not going to see the Demons and Eclipse run because Atlanta's going to handle it. They don't even need Eclipse to lose; they need Inchin to lose. But beyond that, Birmingham, you guys, Koala Couch, you guys clinch with a win, or a loss by Atlanta, or Erie, or New Mexico. So
Last
you guys
scenarios.
control your fate and don't. And same with Boston; they'll clinch with a win or a Birmingham win. So if you guys win, you also clinch Boston, or a loss by Atlanta or New Mexico. Crazy things. So many things. Pixel gives me a headache, but
Beautiful.
they're doing it.
Yeah, this game tonight is like, hey, are we gonna be serious and in the top 4, or are we just a gatekeeper team?
Big game tonight. I'm excited.
It's huge. It's freaking massive. Yeah, there's, a lot of you kind of want to be in that top 4, but at the same time, Couch, we were talking before everybody joined. 4th or 5th probably doesn't really matter because you're playing the same team anyway.
Yeah,
If you're 4th, you're probably playing KC or Boston. If you're 5th, you're probably playing KC. Maybe Honolulu. So there is some variability, but we'll see.
The matchup tonight, is pretty much probably a first round matchup as well.
The personally seeding to me doesn't really matter, and to be honest, if we end up losing in like a really close series, game 5, like I think that's saying a lot. Even if we happen to lose that game, as long as we're not getting handled,
I do think this is a huge measuring stick for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Playing a top 4 team coming in here right before the playoffs. Obviously, you got one more week, but right before the playoffs, it's definitely going to show you guys where you stand in the pecking order.
And I also think it's a measuring stick for KC. I don't think they've had a real test since getting rid of Mew. And this is it. And it's going to come against Mew and the rest of his team. I've questioned KC since that move. They came out and played Monarchs. Okay. Everybody's played well against Monarchs. So they did.
Brett looks good, though.
Yes. Brett is fitting in very nicely in his role. I questioned that early in the season. He's proved me wrong. He looks the part.
He plays that Batman
Um,
well.
What time is the game tonight?
9 Eastern.
Oh man,
Couple hours.
let's get going so y'all can cook up. I want a bandit sweep or I want 5. Either way, make it happen. At the request of you, Koala, I cut the next thing so you can go ahead and take us into trades and signings.
Well, fuck. So Hydra's released 6 full and signed Nerd Justin, which we talked about. Rednecks dropped Yami and signed Koa.
Koa, you made it.
Just in time
Um,
to lose.
And then they drop Akaza and sign Banks.
Which I'm super excited about because I've never played with Banks at all. So I am
Really?
kind of looking forward.
I'll give
to it a
you
little bit.
a little inside thing. Be ready for the quickest quick chats you've ever seen in your life.
Word.
I've played a couple of games with him before. It's automatic. He's on. You don't even need comms from him with how quick he is with it and how accurate the comm comes through as a quick chat. It's hilarious to me.
No, I think you made Koa not want to play with him now.
It's one of the greatest things you'll ever see. I promise you.
Oh my god.
That sounds terrible. But
It's not.
Sure.
He does actually calm, like he does. But when he doesn't feel like calming, he'll calm during your game. Don't worry.
Hey, Koa, it is what it is. You're on the Rednecks. It can't get much worse.
That's dude.
This is
I don't
true.
know if I'm allowed to say this. Can I say it? All right. Ben,
You say whatever
ben
you want.
comes into
America.
admin. We're sitting in admin. Ben comes in. He goes, "Go on," in his stupid Alabamian accent. He's like, "Go on.
Go.
I'm picking you up," and I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "You don't sound very excited." I'm like, What is there to be excited about? He's like, We're gonna play Hanoi and OKC. We're gonna get our belt to ass, and then like 2 days later, he mathematically gets eliminated from the playoffs. But sorry.
You were given an opportunity. Psych.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Prove your worth.
Yeah. Do go out and shock the world, Koa.
I'll try my best, Coach. But
You guys have nothing to lose.
that's very true.
But
It's very
every
true.
bit of content for the league to gain.
That's
Mhm.
very true.
So-
What if we come
Go
out
out.
and win both games?
I was about to say, you go out and you win both games. What could have
That'd be
been?
awesome.
What
Koa,
could have
I want to
been-
see you in banter if y'all take a
Oh,
game
dude, if we
from one of
win,
these
if we
teams.
win both games, you guys won't hear the end of it. It's just, yeah.
Oh man.
Then we got the players to watch.
Yes.
Yo.
And I'm taking Mew from my team. It is it game of the week or spotlight of the week or whatever it is.
Spotlight.
Yeah.
Honorable mention.
So this will be out after the game, which is tonight, a couple hours. And revenge game, talk about a little bit. And hopefully we see big things. He's been flat carring it lately,
I saw
Yeah.
that. I saw that.
which is strange.
Mhm. I noticed during our scrims, he'll play in a different car almost every game to get a feel for it, like see which
I
one
think-
really works. And he stuck with the Dominus last time.
I think he did have the Octane. Now I'm thinking about it for the last game or two of scrims last night. So I'll be interested to see what he does.
He goes Dominus, Finnick, or Octane. That he'll interchange.
Those are the typical three. So
Yeah. But it's always so weird to see like Finnick, Octane, same thing.
yeah, obviously.
Different looks, same thing. But then you go to the Dominus and you're just flattened. It gets
So
knocked out.
honestly, the reason I remember that goal at the end of game 1 or whatever, him coming off the wall so vividly, is because it was in the Dominus. It was just see the car coming in sideways.
It's a big square or big rectangle.
Yeah.
rectangle.
My fault. But our Prism player to watch, I'm picking Latimos. Game of the week, Steinhatchee versus St. Petersburg Wave. Big playoff implications, 7v9, both tied at 4 and 5. Very big game. Yeah, so Latimos, go out there, put yourself in a position to clinch playoffs here. So, yeah, that's what I'm going with.
That is going to take us into predictions. Coming out of week 9, I'm on top, 43 wins. We've got Jay at 42, Koa and Shade tied at 41. Koala has been doing very well. Joined us late, sitting at 23. Yeah, but we'll get into week 10 here. We're going to start with Pixel. Our game of the week, clearly 1 versus 3. Mudcats versus Havoc. And the desk is a little split. I'm taking the Mudcats. Sorry. He's still over there. I really thought we'd be to this part before he got home from playing basketball. But yeah, I'm going to take the Mudcats. I don't know that the mental of Havoc can take them through the series. That's T-Max got a lot of tools at his disposal. I think it's going to be enough to take the series. Prove me wrong, Bucko.
Yeah, I mean, I think these 2 games deserve to be the ones highlighted, and for obvious reasons. This is just like our game against the Foxtrotters or Measuring Stick. This is gonna be a good test for either team. Like, I really don't know who ends up being better at the end of this whole thing. Like, I think Honolulu could get to the finals.
Yeah.
If Honolulu wins this gives them a path to that first seed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They'll immediately move into the number standings. So.
And they're going to keep it next week.
So
I want to see in a big game like this, can the Mudcats stop a player like Wiko? And if they do, can Shampoo and Bio make up for it? Pull them out. Right.
So if they beat Mudcats, they take the 1 spot going into week 11.
Yes.
If you beat them, is it Mudcats back on top, or do you guys take the 1 seed?
Well, I generally will assume, and I'm sure it'll be a podcast sweep. The Mudcats week 11 game, they play the Monarchs.
Yeah.
Then at that point, yes, the head-to-head tiebreaker would go to Mudcats. So, the only opportunity for the Pharaohs to get to the 1 is with the Mudcats losing to the Monarchs. That's not going to happen. So the 1 seed's either going to be Havoc or Mudcats. This game will determine that. If Mudcats win, they clinch the 1.
Yeah.
Period. So Honolulu wins it. All they have to do is beat Pharaohs to get the 1.
God, it's going to be a great game.
But Shade is with Koala on Honolulu. The rest of you guys took the Mudcats. Very interesting, very deserving game of the week.
I think that'll probably be a 60-40 split on the predictions on the Twitch.
But like most of the people, they don't even bet. I feel like a lot of people don't even bet who they think will win. They just kind of bet
I've just started betting odds. So if it's like 80% one team, I'm gonna put it.
Okay, I would say if you polled the community, it'd be 60-40 on who they think would win.
Like you guys said, we'll go to our notable matchup. The game that's already happened by the time you guys are listening. Foxtrotters versus Bandits. Another banger game here. Number of us on the Bandits here. Bacon, Koala, Shade, Couch, and Koala. Most certainly picking the Bandits. Koa, you and Jay are on the Foxtrotters. Tell me why.
They still, obviously, still question marks with their trade with Mew for Breezy and blah, blah, blah. But I still think that Breezy brings in that defense that they were missing. And Brett has looked better, I would say, now with Mew not being on the team. He actually looks better than he did pre. So I don't know. I put my faith here in my homie mom, Debbie. And I just think they're going to pull this one out.
He's just homie hopping.
He is. He is.
Yeah, no. When
He's got a whole bunch of homies and pookies in the server.
I have so
I
many
figured
cookies.
they had reasons for it, but at the same time, I was like, well, yeah, Jay and Co are gonna go KC. They know the guys.
I know all
Sure.
3 of them. So yeah, I mean,
You do.
Yeah, they're gonna go though.
Our next game, guys, we all agreed on. It's not very exciting. Atlanta versus Demons. While this is a close standings matchup, we have all picked the Demons. Are we riding the recency? Is that what we're doing?
absolutely.
Recency bias, yes, 100%.
But they just, I mean, they beat 1 and 2. Or,
You can't call something recency bias just to invalidate it. Like it's not like we're just looking at standings or like when you watch the games, you're like, yeah, they're just better.
Recency
Yeah.
bias.
It's not bias. Recency for sure. It's not a bias. They definitely look in very proper form.
There's also different people on the team, so it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recency bias.
Shut up, coach.
It does things to people's brains.
Our next one, we've got the Eclipse versus the Monarchs. We again have swept the Eclipse here. Monarchs maybe going to look to try to upset Eclipse, trying to go for a playoff spot, but this game also doesn't have much consequence.
If
It's going to come down to week 11.
it doesn't affect them at all.
Like
It
in
does.
other tiebreakers, depending on how other games go, but we're living in a world of what ifs there.
Yeah.
Like they.
It could.
So if Eclipse lose and Illusion win, okay, Illusion's up 1 game on Eclipse. They play next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Period. We probably live in a world where both Inchin and Eclipse could not make the playoffs. So them losing to Monarchs might set that in motion. I don't know. That's all higher level stuff playing on question marks. So we'll see. But I don't think they're going to lose this game. It'd be funny though. Another one that'd be funny to lose. Hopefully not. Luxor versus New Mexico.
Especially after last
Did he-
week. Don't
did he
get
just-
swept again.
Did
Oh.
he just say for his own team that it would be funny to
Because
lose?
it would be. But
It would be funny.
It'd be funny for us. It'd be funny for people not
Like,
on Luxor.
I didn't laugh initially when we lost to Demons, but as the days went on, I was like, well, shit. Oops. Egg on our face. Everybody picked Luxor. Shade's got question marks, wondering if he's playing in that series. I guess you're going to have to wait and see. Final Pixel game, we've got Boston versus Inchin. This we're a little bit different on proper split here.
Mhm.
I'm going to lean on Inchin. I don't want them to win because I want Smurfy's $50. But I think they have a team that can very well contest with Boston. I think I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the whole Smurfy bullet thing. And Smurfy's not available. But they're still competing without Smurfy out there. Bull is doing a great job. And I think they'll be able to take enough here to take Boston.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
hard to get in games with your team when you're leaving in the middle of scrims to go get pizza and then eat it. So
Yeah, Smurfy, you spending a lot of money eating out for something. Pay me $50. So you had Chick-fil-A the other day. You left scrims to get a pizza. What we doing, Smurf?
you got greasy fingers right now.
He's hungry.
Greasy
Can't-
fingers.
Can't hold the controller.
But me, Shade, and Co are all on Inchin. Why are you guys picking Boston?
I think Boston's defense is going to be too much for Inchin to break through.
I think they could probably annoy him.
Point blank.
If they keep them out of the net, like it could go downhill quick.
I will say this was very much a coin flip for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So
I also think that if part of the reason they have so many saves is because they sit back and then just try to counter, and boy does Inchin like to push up and get
Mhm.
over aggressive. So
Yeah.
it just depends. Is Inchin, is Defane and them gonna hit their shots? Because if they start hitting, top right bars and in, then Boston could get dusted.
Yeah,
But if
Fuller
not-
finds that top right like he did last week, danger.
If not, the ball's going the other way and it's going in their net. So
I'm excited for that game. I think that one's going to be Friday. So Friday night prime time. Over in Prism, guys, game of the week, very much deserving. Huge Prism matchup. The Wave versus the Scallops. And our desk is kind of split a bit. I'm going to ride with the Wave. Appa's done enough that he's got control of that team, even when he's had to sub out players. And Unfo, while they got the win with the subs, now his players are back. And they've had a week off because 2 of them were gone. What are they going to come back playing like? And they're going to come up a little lame in this. Wave are going to take the series and take a control on that playoff spot.
Wrong.
It was Wave.
Yeah.
Why?
Steinhatchee are going to come back and they're going to win. Why? Because I said so.
Sound
I like
logic that Shade, Jay, and Couch agree with.
Yeah, 100%. I think this one really is just like it's a 50-50. It's going to be a great game the way the seasons have worked out. I just think the Scallops have had less terrible moments than the Wave.
I mean, I think that's true, but clip it, move on.
Flip it.
Whatever. Notable matchup. Hydra versus Ospreys. I'm a little surprised here, guys. We have a sweep on the Hydras. They have not looked great recently. We think they get it together here and just.
Yeah.
I think the Nerd Justin pickup is phenomenal. He needed like we talked about. It was his first league
And what a
action
team to
in
run
months.
into in your first
Yeah,
year, too.
It's a tough one. Gives him a week to get Kim together, figure out how Nerd Justin fits in the scheme of things. And I forget who was casting with me. But we were talking about, I think Mincy had it, I was casting higher level. So these GC2s, GC3s, it's a lot easier for them to figure out those play styles and stuff. Yeah, and get that Kim going. So 1 week, I think that's plenty of time for them to get it and get right back on track and winning.
Was that your dog?
Yeah, he's
We heard that one.
he's been sitting next to me, and I'm like trying to pet him and make sure he stops whining, and it's not working.
Sounded like a child cry.
He is not a happy camper right now.
Well, let's go going here. Maybe he'll like this next one. We've got the new one team in Prism, Sentinels versus the High Flyers. It was going to be a sweep, but Couch did a funny, and he's taking the High Flyers. Why, Couch?
Who did that?
That's you, buddy. Somebody
me?
clip it.
That's me.
Why?
100%. It's because Jay always hates on me.
Oh, that's that.
Word.
Listen, we've
did
had
pick
worse
against us.
reasons. Yeah, we've had
Yeah.
worse reasons on here for making a pick. So
Yeah,
run it.
he always hates on the Bandits, hates on things I do, and I think they got the #1 spot. They're going to lose it this week.
Fair enough. I wanted to see you keep that same energy for the next matchup, but you didn't. We've got the Phantoms versus the Rednecks, and we've got a sweep of the Phantoms.
No, I'm picking my. No, I'm kidding. No.
I love Ben.
Ko was a podcaster first, Redneck second.
My
Got it.
my podcast prediction record is more important than winning these 2 games. That being said, I will try my utmost to win the game.
Trades and signings
I'm
next
sure you will.
episode. Ben drops Koa.
I would try
Signs
my
fill in the
utmost to win, but gotta keep it
Wink.
realistic.
Wink.
There's no win.
Yeah, don't throw
I
Koa.
just-
He's blinking. He's not winking. He's
No,
just blinking.
no, he double winked.
He did double wink.
yeah, true.
He double winked.
We've got the New York Nightmare versus Kyoto Anime Otakus, and we have all picked the Nightmare. Anything to say about this one? It's just kind of numbers be numbers here.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. Our final game to talk about, we've got the Hornets, we've got the Hurricanes. And again, we all think the Hornets. I think this has the potential to be a sneaky good series. What Hurricanes team is actually going to show up?
Freak.
This
gonna
team
crush
is
them.
so good on paper.
Koala's
Okay.
guy. Streaks
On-
going
yeah,
for
yeah.
15 goals. It's over.
All the assists.
All the assists. Yeah, no. Hornets, I very much agree. I think they're going to take control of this early. And Hurricanes will be scrappy throughout it, but Hornets got to close,
No.
right? Streaks too much.
This Hornets team is weird because they're kind of in that same boat where like you've seen them come out and you've seen them beat OKC, you've seen them beat the good teams, but they've also come out and looked horrible. So I definitely think they're a team that can make a run in the playoffs. It's one of those where I'm like, they're sneaky good, because they've looked really good at points, but
Boston Beef got to get it together.
yeah.
I will also add,
Get it together.
it also depends on who's casting their game. And that's not some
It doesn't.
BS thing. They've won one game out of 7 when I'm not casting. They are like 13-2 when I
thought they were
cast.
gonna pull it out for mine.
I thought they were gonna get their second one with Koa casting, and then they got reverse swept. It's a thing. The stats are there.
You live too close to that voodoo shit down there.
He's too close to Louisiana.
For sure.
Too close.
Well, boys, that's going to do it for this one. Unless y'all got anything else.
Thanks for
Rocket
having
League
me.
things, of course. Rocket League things. We have Raleigh coming up.
Is
2
it in
weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. So we'll talk about that more on the next episode. As always, links down below. Check out your merch. If you're not already, check out the Twitch. And if you're not already, thank you for being here. But definitely check out the Twitch. That's where the live action happens. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you again for tuning into the Backpost Podcast, powered by the 8-Bit Nation. Be sure to stay active in the Discord and follow the Twitch channel at 8N Gaming so you don't miss any of the fast-paced, epic Pixel and Prism League content. Well, that's it for now. May your aerials be flawless and your saves legendary.